All right, what it do? What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome to something new, something new. Now this
Oh
shit,
yes, sir. The new wave.
the
Oh
new
yes, sir.
wave, the new
What's it?
wave,
What's this called?
the cherry waves,
The cherry wave.
the
Yes, sir.
cherry waves. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I know Justin doesn't know this as well. But this has been in the works for, or it's been like in the cesspool, the damn cooking pot for 2 years now.
Crock pot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been in the works for 2 years now. I started working back on this joint back in 2018, trying to figure some stuff
Yeah.
out with one of my friends I'm gonna try to get him on. I'm gonna try to get him on, of course.
Yes, sir.
But basically, the idea here with this podcast is to get variety of personalities, people, content creators, things like that. Um, get them all here, just to share the things that they
Get it
love, share the things
diverse.
they enjoy. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. We're exotic with it.
Exactly. Get a whole bunch of, varying viewpoints and interests and put them out there so people can talk about what they have passion with, you know?
Yeah.
And with that being said, let me introduce to y'all episode one. This is my boy, Young
Yes,
Winterfest
sir.
Prince. Young,
Uh,
yo, grandma made some
uh,
cinnamon rolls at 8 a.m. in the morning.
and
The
I'm
one
shouting
and
down on
only
them.
Anxmeverse,
I
aka
know.
Justin. Yeah.
Oh, Jay. Happy to be
Yeah.
here, man. Say that.
Say that. He said, happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
Yo, so welcome. How's it feel to be
Thank
the
you,
first
man.
one? The first one on the podcast.
Man, I'm feeling immaculate right now.
I know you
It
feeling
feels
honored.
great.
I
Yes, sir.
no, I
Because
had
I
to
know
get my
even
boy.
oh yes, sir.
My fault.
Because I
Go
know
ahead.
even when you told me about this, well, I didn't even know this was in the work for 2 years. But even when you told me about this, it's been a grip. Like it's been at least what
I
three,
was
4 months
I
maybe.
would say I feel like it's been a good few months since I like first told you about this, like, because I
Yeah.
was like, well, because I know that you recently have been like stepping out more and being like sort of like an internet personality, not necessarily like a content creator, but someone that's like at least making
Oh,
their mark
right, right.
in the in the community, in like the anime community, for
Oh yeah,
sure.
100%.
Like
I just have
between Instagram and now Twitter, you moved
oh
to Twitter, which is of course the
yeah.
goated platform in comparison. Of
Oh, it
course the
is. I'm
goated
very upset I
one.
was ever on anime Instagram. I'm very upset about it. Do not regret it, but it was not the move.
that
Anime
boy
Twitter is much better.
that boy was Supreme Ed back in the day, but now he stepped
Back
into the
in
limelight.
the day.
He's stepping into
Man,
the
that
limelight.
was that was senior year of high school, bro. We're about to be sophomores in college.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Like
sir.
that feels like a minute ago.
It
But yeah.
is. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
So
I definitely mess with the anti Twitter community. It can be toxic, but it's still fun to be part of.
yes,
There's some
sir.
cool people on there. Yep.
I was gonna say you doing your thing. You be doing your thing. You be starting. What was it? I remember the one thread that you started. Some too much negativity going around, dropping anime
Uh
smile shit.
yeah, no,
Yo,
that was my most liked post. That had the most activity on it. It had like 5,000 likes. I was feeling like a celebrity, bro.
that
I didn't know how to handle it.
shit was
Twitter even
fire.
said you getting too many notifications. You want us to filter them? I said nah. Kind of like my phone blowing up.
He said,
Gonna
"Let him
keep it.
through. Let him through."
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Yes,
No,
sir.
that is hilarious. That joint was fire. It was what was that? That was like a few months ago now too, at the start of quarantine. Not the start, but like
Yeah,
a little bit
it's
ways
because
in.
all the stuff going on. There was a lot of negativity on Twitter, like on the real. You know what I mean? Like there just was. There was a lot of
Facts.
negativity in the world, just in general,
Yeah,
and
no facts.
you know what I mean. I just felt like a couple anime smells might brighten someone's day,
Do
brightened a
something
lot
for
of
the
people's day.
people.
Apparently,
Yeah,
yeah.
facts.
Give
Look,
back to the community. Yes, sir.
exactly. Like you reached out. Like no matter how many people it got to, it still got to a good break
Right.
of people. You was out here
Yes,
doing the
sir.
thing.
Yes.
So
That
facts
is what is important, man.
matters.
Look, I'm a community man.
Say that.
I'm a community man. All right, I'm giving back to the people.
Tell him that though. Tell him that though. Okay, but in regards to anime now, I know whenever I'm gonna say this for everyone, whenever I get somebody on here, I try to talk with them beforehand about some stuff to see, what type of topics they want to talk about, so we at least have some idea where we're going. And I know for me with my boy Justin, something that he's got major interest in, as of late, what the past like what year and a half or something,
Yeah,
been
something like
the
that.
been the Myers Briggs personality
Yeah.
types. It not even just
So
Myers Briggs. It was also the enneagrams, right?
yeah, Enneagram. So, what was it? Like first semester of college, first semester of university, I should say. I was in a psychology class because my major is advertising, so it's a required class because I'm pretty sure they want us to like know how the mind works so that we can like
Advertise
direct.
better.
Yeah, basically. So, one of the units we got into was the Myers-Briggs, and I just thought it was really fascinating. So basically, what the Myers Briggs is it is a personality test, and it gives you a four-letter code based on like your preferences on how you like view the world, interpret information, and stuff like that. And then with those four letters, usually like they're stereotypes, but usually you're going to act a certain way with this four-letter code because of um your preferences on how you view life. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be one way 100% of the time, but you have a preference to act a certain way
You
usually.
kind of like fall into that sort of group.
Right, and it's just because like you have similar thinking patterns. So usually you're going to act a similar way.
Now,
So
okay,
that's how it works.
my fault, my fault.
No, you're good.
But do you
Well,
think, real quick, do you think that thumb joints are like too generic, that where it feels like because you know how like the whole thing with zodiacs is
right,
like they be
right.
like, oh, they're just gonna tell you a bunch of like generic information that can apply for like
Yeah,
anybody, or do you think
right.
that this is a lot more like rooted in stuff?
I think it's a lot more rooted because obviously you there's only 16 types you can be. So all of them are going to be somewhat generic,
7
obviously,
billion
because
people.
right, right, to force them into 16 categories. Obviously they're going to be somewhat generic, but like I said, that's why it's not to be taken too literally. I think it's more of just like a fun thing to look at. So when you're looking at the 16 different types, it's like they are unique in their own way, but like still kind of broad to where you everyone that fits in that type kind of has a place, I guess I should say.
Right. So like
Um
everyone can kind of like find their home between like one of the
yeah.
categories.
Yeah, and the thing is like a lot of people like don't 100% fit into like one category because no one's 100% only one way. So you know what I mean? Like you may have qualities of like multiple types. It's just which one you identify with the most. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right. Right. It's like a damn Harry Potter house.
Oh yeah. Yes sir. Yes sir.
They be shoving you into
What
one of the four houses.
was it, Gryffindor gang?
Yes, sir,
The
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor gang, yes sir. Um, what's it? My first time watching Harry Potter, man. My first watch. It's they're kind of sorry right now. I'm not gonna lie. Not the movies, but the like
The
the characters'
characters.
powers. Yeah, like they get folded. I'm not gonna lie, they get folded.
Damn, bro. See, I don't even know nothing about Harry Potter. Like I mad need to watch it because
Yeah.
one of my boys actually, Malik, he watched Harry Potter, or he started
Mm,
watching Harry Potter, and he was like, because his
yeah.
boys made him watch it, and he was like, nah, them shit's kind of trash. And then like 2 movies later, he was like, all right, nah, I take it back, I take it back. Them joints
Man. Because here's the thing about it, bro. It's like I thought the same thing. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna watch Harry Potter, that wand waving magic shit. I was like, I'm not trying to see that. But like a lot of my friends were like, come on, man. Like I've watched it. I think you would like it. They were hounding me about it, and
And
I
then
was
you
like, you
realize
know
that you
what?
watched Konosuba.
Right. And a lot of anime regarding magic. So I was like, and I
Yeah,
just finished Fairy Tale, which was about magic. I don't care what any of you say. It's good.
power of
Stop hating on
friendship,
it.
head
Power of
ass.
friendship. I do not care. Power of friendship
Hey, bro,
can
power of
carry
friendship
you.
is a real thing. Power of friendship is
Man,
a real
don't,
thing.
right. Don't tell me you've never got an adrenaline rush when your boy was getting jumped. You had to rush in and save him.
You say that like everybody's boys out here getting jumped.
Hey man, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter. They
You
talk like
Oh,
it.
I was going to
They
say you've
talk like
seen a
they
lot
run
of
the
people
street.
getting jumped.
Well, no, bro. I mean, I just be seeing so many memes about like oh, in my trap or like in my hood. I'm like, oh, we all from the streets, huh? Like
Okay.
majority of y'all should be able to relate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. So,
But even not in fights, like you really can just be moved by friendship in general, man. And like, let's say, and really regarding, okay, so let's say that they do bullshit. Let's say that a lot of the fights are won off of power of friendship, and it's just bullshit, right?
yeah.
Like, regardless, even if that's the case, I still like the show.
Okay, facts. You like the story that
T-
it's trying
t-
to tell?
Yeah, because to me, it's not really even about that. What I like about Fairy Tale is that they got like some cool characters, cool character designs. They got some smacking fights, great OSTs, good visuals. You know what I mean? And honestly, it just kept me interested. It was an entertaining show.
I feel you. I feel you. I see. I have not watched Fairy Tale. That
Yeah,
I've been slacking on my anime lately. I'm not even gonna
no, I
hold you,
feel. Yeah,
but
I've been pushing the agendas. You know that.
no facts. Trying to get that body count up. I feel you.
Hmm.
But like, I know for a fact. I know for a fact, bro. If you got people that you trying to work hard for, like if you got that
Right,
outside motivation where you be like, I really care about this person, these people.
right.
It be giving you that boost where you want to work hard, like that second one and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I know we talked about it before, but I wholly
Right.
believe that the power of friendship is a real thing.
Man, like, do y'all hear about what like kids get trapped under
Showing the
cars
cars
and
in
like
their
moms
yeah.
like just lift the car like they're all bro, like you can't humans can't just lift cars, bro. So
uh,
like if you're telling me a 40-year-old stay at house, you know, I mean stay at home wife is lifting a car, you know what I mean? Based on I guess not the power of friendship, but the power of family. Like the power of friendship can come through too. That's all I'm
facts,
saying.
facts.
You know what I mean? But I mean, and not everything can be a Code Geass.
What's a code
Like that's the
Geass?
thing. You've never watched Code Geass, bro?
No, I have not
Oh,
actually. Surprisingly.
oh. Well, it's basically like heavy plot oriented. Like it's one of the best in terms of just straight plot. Like best anime ever created.
I think
Like honestly, just in general.
I read part of it, but I never like
Yeah.
actually sat down and
Yeah.
went through and did the motions with it.
Right. Right.
Had
Right.
my dates with it, got my little
Yeah.
introduction. Took it
It's
home
not
to the
long.
crib.
I would definitely say what one day order yourself some Chinese food, get some Arizonas, spoil yourself, and then just get on a little Code Geass watch sesh.
This man says spoiled. So he said kings got
Yes,
to treat themselves, huh?
yeah, like it's not too long of a series, bro. I think you'd enjoy it. Like I said in terms of plot, but just like all across the board, it's a great series, but it's just heavy plot oriented. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a mecha,
It,
right?
yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Because yeah. Because I think I've
Yeah.
read parts of it, and when I was just strolling down Barnes and Noble, and went to that little manga section,
Oh yes, sir. The trusty manga section.
and I'm pretty sure they be having, if I remember correctly, it's the one. No, it's not. Okay, yeah. No, but I think they have the regular size ones because everything is Evangelion that has. They also have
Oh
regular
yeah.
size and the giant ass ones too.
Hmm.
But Code Geass has the regular ass ones if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, they're pretty much all the same design. And then
But
you get a couple of people that are like high up in the army that have like a little customized one, but for the most part, yeah, just all the same mecha for the most. Because it's less about like the action, more about like the strategy.
because damn war, right?
Yeah. Like the main character is just a great war
Bro,
strategist.
I'm pretty sure I've
So
actually watched this shit growing up. I don't think I just would not remember it for the life of me. It's like
no, I get you.
Inuyasha, where I watched Inuyasha growing up, but if you ask me shit about Inuyasha, I'm not the
You're not
one.
gonna remember.
Bro, I'm not
Yeah,
the one. Like,
yeah, bro. It was a grip ago. Like I feel you. We're
so
almost we're almost yeah, we're almost 2 decades old, bro. Like
wait,
that's insane to think about.
isn't Okay, we're not almost 2 decades old. You're almost two
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
decades old.
whoa, whoa, wait,
You're
pause, pause,
almost two
pause. We're not,
decades old.
listen, okay, so I'm 19. I turned 19 in May. So, like, I'm still very much 19. I'm just saying, if we're closer to 10 or we're closer to 20, we're closer to 20, bro. Like, we're super close to 20, which is insane to me. Because it doesn't really feel like that long ago that, we
What,
were,
that you
like,
came out
in
the
middle
womb?
school, high school.
It's been half your life since you were in middle school. High school
Dude,
wasn't
I
that long
know.
ago. High school was like
No, I know.
like
But
two.
even then, that doesn't even feel like that long ago to me, dude.
It be feeling like a break to me when I be looking back at
Really.
junior year. It was almost like 4 years ago now.
Like, because when I think about the time in general, I start, you know what I mean? That's when I'm like, dang, like that was a minute ago. But when I'm just recalling stuff, it feels like that just happened, to keep it real.
I don't
I
see.
don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I have some stuff where I'll be like, all right, it feels like this joint like just happened. But then I like actually sit down and think about when it happened. I'd be like,
Right.
damn, this was like almost a year ago now or something. And
Yeah.
quarantine does not help, bro. Half a year in quarantine, bro.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like when I'm just remembering it, it doesn't feel like a long time ago, but then once I start actually thinking about it, that's when I'm like, oh, that was a
so the
grip
break,
ago.
yeah, that's
Yeah, bro.
exactly. No, that's all facts. That's all facts.
Yeah.
Yo, but back to what we were talking about. Well,
Right.
we spiraling, but those some fire ass conversations is the ones that
Yeah.
just be leading off into some shit.
They're
But
authentic.
the Myers Briggs. So
Right.
what are you, your ISTP?
Right. I mean, honestly, I'm also one of those ones that I think can fit into a couple main two, ISTP and INTP. Um, so yeah, that's just a one layer difference, but those are the two that I think I'm like the most part of. I've
I
done a lot of research on them, but
okay, and so mine, your ISTP or INTP?
yeah, I'm one of the two. I guess I will say the first time I ever took the test I was ISTP, and when I took it earlier this year I was ISTP, like when I took it in that psychology class. Um it's only off of research that I'm thinking I'm INTP, but
Okay, this was
I'm
some
just gonna
research.
identify with ISTP just because that's what I've been getting for the most part. So I'll,
Okay.
for the sake of this video, I'll just identify as that. But like honestly, I think I could fit in both. Plus the fact that most INTPs are super geniuses, like Jimmy Neutron, Dr. Stone. Like, come on now.
So you trying to identify with it? Are you wait?
No,
You
no, no. I'm saying like that makes me not want to identify with them because I'm not some boy genius. Like I'm not dumb, but like, come on, Jimmy Neutron. You
them
know what I'm
save the world
saying?
type smart.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on. That makes it so difficult to identify as that because I'm like,
It's
dang, I'm not building with like what spaceships like
it's some shit
Jimmy
where you don't need powers. You don't need like no powers because you're just so damn smart.
man, like Rick, that's insane. Like to me, that Rick is just that smart
They
that
need
he can
just
just like shit on people with superpowers.
that Rick and Morty, yes sir. Cause he really
That's
just
so
be
insane
pulling
to
up
me.
with science and
Yeah,
like
bro.
it's science and experience. That's all it is.
Yeah, bro. Like if you were the smartest man in the universe, you would hold a lot of power. Like super intelligence is kind of underrated as a superpower, man.
Facts. No, facts. Because like even thinking about it, like the whole thing with like feeling like the one person that got like a power in some country or whatever is like the government would be after you, but the
Yeah.
government can't be after Rick, bro. Rick, like we seen what happens,
Oh
like
yeah.
if the government goes after Rick. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I know it's season 3, but like
Right.
it'd be season 3. If you ain't watched season 3 of Rick and Morty by now, it's technically your fault because it's been like what 2 years. But
Right. Please.
I'm still not gonna spoil it because I know I haven't finished season 4. But basically, the government couldn't fuck with Rick. Like the government,
We can't.
they really tried. They tried that shit, but so
Even intergalactic governments can't fuck with Rick. That's what's insane about it.
yeah, facts. So I don't know. I
Like
think
if
super
you're into anime,
intelligence.
I think you'd definitely be into Rick and Morty. That's all I have to say.
Did you ever watch the one like YouTube animation that was like the samurai Rick?
Oh yeah, bro. No, I think that's an actual Rick and Morty thing that they put it out,
Yeah,
but it wasn't like an episode. They
yeah, it was
categorized.
supposed to be. I think it was from one of the comics, and it was just a
Mhm.
small animation that they adapted. It was
Yeah,
pretty dope.
bro. I saw that. Like that was pretty cool, bro.
And so, yeah, no,
A
I like
space
that.
samurai. That's cold.
Yeah.
That's actually. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into that. We're gonna get way too off topic.
It is what it is at the end of the day.
But I was just that just reminded me of the what who's the creator, Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
His new what manga is
Oh yeah.
samurai something, and like they are space samurai. Like so when I said space samurai, that made me think of that. I actually have only read like the first chapter.
I
I
haven't
should
read
probably
none of
check
it.
that
I'm not
out.
even gonna hold you.
Yeah, I feel it hasn't been getting too much publicity,
That's
honestly.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of surprised that for like a big, like, well-known,
Right,
author, and
right.
mangaka, that his new series hasn't gotten you know nearly as much attention as you would think, that, or publicity that you would think. But it's also
Yeah,
probably because he's so big and well renowned, that, like, when you
yeah,
try to put out something that's not the one
right.
series that you got known for, of course
Exactly.
people are gonna be hesitant, because they're like, okay, why is this different?
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
who said you were
I
allowed to
feel
do
like
something
everyone.
different?
Right. Yeah. No. I feel like it's just like most people are thinking like it's not Naruto. You know what I mean? Like, so they don't even want to read it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like, for me, I know for a fact that I've been, like, in the past, like, year, I've been kind of, like, not necessarily falling off of anime, but not keeping up with it as much as I used to. So I'm
Right.
gonna say that's my excuse. What's y'all's?
You've been on the grind.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So, all right. Let's bring it back.
Bringing
Let's
it
turn.
back. There was no way to bring this full circle. So speaking of Kishimoto,
There
is
was it.
say that no,
Right.
his person.
Tell me that. Yeah. There was no way. We had to cut that off and go back.
Okay, so you're ISTP,
Mm-hmm.
and for what was, I think mine was INFP when you had me
Yes.
retake it,
Yep. Well,
because
because when you took it and got ENTP, that was like 4 years ago, dude. Like a lot can happen in 4 years.
a lot can happen in 4 years. A lot can happen in 1 year,
Yeah.
as we've seen in this past half month.
Oh, 100%.
So what was I? I was ENTP J, I think, back when I
Well, no, you
originally
were
took.
A.
Was
That
I
means
A?
aggressor. Yeah, but that you don't have to worry too much about that. All that means is just like do you doubt your actions or not.
Yeah, turbulence was the
Usually is
other
a
one. Okay, yeah, it
yeah.
was A and T, and then now I'm INFP.
P.
Yeah,
Yeah.
INFP T.
T. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. With a, what was it? A 2W3.
Oh yeah, the Enneagram. We bringing that
Yeah.
in. So the way I see this, so first I want to say that I think that when you took that and got ENTP, that was probably correct for you at the time. You probably were, like thinking back on how you used to act, but like on how you act now, I was thinking ENTP is not fitting, which is why I asked you to retake that.
And that ended up, you said you thought INFP fit a lot better, huh?
Yeah, um, because I mean, you have a lot of personal like morals and values, and like ENTP. Like when you think of ENTP, you're thinking of Rick from Rick and Morty that we were just talking about, or Tony Stark, like people like that. You know, what I mean, they're kind of like more witty, snotty, snooty, stuck up, kind of douchebags. You know,
That
so
shit was probably true 4 years ago.
right, it probably was. That's why I was saying I didn't doubt that it was correct at the time, but as of right now, I was not seeing that.
Okay. But now, when we're on the INFP, who do you got for, like, some INFP?
Okay,
I'm
so
trying to remember.
INFPs, what are some famous ones?
I'm trying to
I
look
gotta
back.
think. I actually don't pay too much attention to INFPs, not gonna lie.
Damn.
Um, like no hate towards y'all, like no hate at all. But let me go to it. I'm actually
I
on a
think
website for it.
I think what Darwin Watterson from Amazing
Yeah,
Mother Gumball. I think he had my exact one, like
yes,
INFP
he had your Enneagram as well. Yes,
TW3. Yeah.
yep. Gara from Naruto. Um,
Gara. Okay.
yes, sir. Sun Eater from what My
Yeah,
Hero. Yeah.
Tamaki.
Uh, Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Um, Mob from Mob Psycho
That one.
100.
Okay, that one's hilarious. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
that.
that joint's hilarious. That you
Mob.
got the same as Mob. Yeah. Um, and then what Mitsuri from Kimetsu no Yaiba, Nagato. So you see how they're all obviously they're not all the same exact, but they have similar qualities. You see what
Okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Gohan.
Wait, I just get
So
compared to the goat Nagato?
yeah, you did.
Hey, yo.
There you go.
Let's go.
There you go.
And who you
So
got for your? Oh, my fault. My fault. Go ahead.
oh, you good for my ISTPs?
Yeah.
I got my goat Spike Spagel, Sogo, who I'm actually rocking as my Discord profile pic. Um,
Okay.
who else is there's Jotaro, Saitama, Zoro,
Saitama.
Garo, from One Punch Man. We got Eraserhead from My Hero.
Wait,
So
Saitama and Garo both are the same type?
yes. So
That's
that
kind of
so here's the
nuts.
thing. This is where I think the Enneagram makes a big difference.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
So the way I view the two working together is that the Myers Briggs kind of is just how you process information. It's how you interpret the world. You get
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like the values that help you to navigate through the world. And then the way I see Enneagram is that's like the attitude you take towards the world,
Okay,
if that makes
so
sense.
Myers Briggs would be like the values and what you hold dear, and then
Yeah,
like
kind of.
Enneagram would be like how you take it out or how you view the world.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how I view it anyway. Anyways, like that's my personal just from the research I've done, that's what the conclusion I've come to. You know what I mean? It's never explicitly stated that that's how it works,
Right.
but that's how I think of it because so let's say like I know for mine like ISTP. So Jotaro is an Enneagram 8, which is like a lot more confrontational, kind of like
Right.
hard ass, you know what I mean? That type of person. Um, and then Enneagram 9 is Saitama, and that's a little more like easygoing, carefree. That's actually what I am. I'm an Enneagram 9/8.
Okay.
Um, and then Garo is ISTP as well, obviously as Saitama is, but his Enneagram is also an 8. He's an 8/7. So that basically makes him a little more aggressive, as we've seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Confrontational
Right.
stuff like that. Um, and then you know what I mean. Spike is a 9, a little more cool, carefree, calm. So that's where I think that the difference comes in. You know what I mean? That the attitude that they're taking upon the world with the information that they're processing.
Right. Okay. Because I know even for mine was like very rare in terms of like
Yeah,
an exact matchup. So like
right.
INFP, I don't like okay, how would you explain that I know that my 2 3 was like
Yeah,
2 was the helper. So it's like,
yeah.
doing all that stuff to like,
Hmm.
for other people. But then like 3 was what was it? It was like the more performative or you want to be not necessarily
Yeah.
performative because wasn't performative like 1, I think.
No, one is the perfectionist.
Oh, okay. But then 3 was like the one where it's like you want to be like noticed for what you
Yes,
do. Damn near.
right. Like the performer a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
so what with the I actually believed you were ENFJ. That's the one I would have guessed for you. And it kind of speaks to your Enneagram because a lot of 2 3s are ENFJs, such as All Might, Mirio, aka Lemillion.
One
Um, where else are they? I know Sanji from One Piece.
Piece, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think that your Enneagram is a little more what I think you're ENFJ, but the way you're processing information is a little more like INFP.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just like, what's a good damn analogy that would like unique ass, bro? Because I was looking at
Unique ass.
INFPs and like a lot of them are like four fives.
A lot of them are fours and nines, I believe. Um,
When I say
so
4 5, I mean
also,
four wing five. My fault.
oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of them were four wing five. And for those of you that don't know how Enneagram works, it's like the first number that you get is kind of like your main group, the one you most identify with, and then your wing is like the group that you secondly identify with in terms of qualities.
And yeah, so like the first one would be the one that you most often pursue in your actions, and then like the second one would be kind of like almost like the subliminal
Yeah,
underlying kind of hope with things, or like the second way that you
exactly.
yeah would see it all.
Wow, what a fast learner.
Say that though.
Say that. Yes,
I
sir.
spent one night on this stuff and then never looked
Man,
at it again. But I
man.
was fascinated for that one night.
Hmm.
That joint was hitting different for that one night that I was on this.
Yeah, that psychology class just really it kind of put me past the point of no return. Like once they started telling me something, like when I first saw the test, I was kind of like you, like, oh, cool, like that is what it is. But then she started like going into depth, and then it got me interested. So after that unit ended, I just kept doing my own personal research.
Bruh.
Yeah,
This like that one random ass like subject that most people would be like, no, I ain't never gonna use this shit again. But you were the one student that it struck a chord with.
yeah, bro. And I don't know why. Like I really don't know why. I just think it's so interesting.
Well, I mean, and
Oh.
also because you write, you like yeah,
Hmm.
like for those of you who don't know, this boy is a writer.
Yes, sir.
And
Aspiring.
I know that you say that it helps you like with making characters too and like making them feel more so like realistic in what they do.
Right. Yeah, it helps me. Like for example, if I have a kind of a character that's a sideliner character, right, that I'm not really paying as much attention to.
Right.
Usually, I make sure to like give them all, but especially those ones, a Myers Briggs and Enneagram, not to make them act exactly like that all the time, but just for me to remember kind of the region they're in and keep them character consistent.
Yeah, which I think is
Yeah.
like good to have it
Yeah.
so where they can like not necessarily that they're trapped in a group, but where they have like a group to refer back to when deciding like
Yeah.
uh because at the end of the day when you're making characters you have to decide what sort of thing is that they hold. You have to like you basically decide their Myers-Briggs and Enneagram for them. You decide the values that they hold dear. You decide how they like take them out upon the world. Like you don't have really any other thing to base it off of other than what you come up with.
Exactly. And that just kind of helps me to sort my thoughts, this Myers-Briggs and Enneagram. Like you said, you just have kind of a group to refer back to.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it's like a really good way of going about it. Um, like having that kind of like that foundation and something to
Yeah.
refer back to. Like at least some place to start off with.
Yeah. I
Uh
agree.
yeah. So, okay. And I know
So,
oh my fault. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead, man.
Oh, I was gonna say I know the other day, when we were actually hanging out, you said something about FI, that there's another layer
Yes.
to this.
Yes. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. So, um, when I first start reading up on this Myers-Briggs, I noticed that one letter can make like a huge difference in terms of how they describe usually how people in this group act. And that didn't really make sense to me. I was like, one letter difference shouldn't really make that much of a change. But so I researched it a little further and I realized that there's a whole nother layer to Myers-Briggs than what's on the surface. So it's like with each category, you have different functions. And these
Right.
functions are like balanced of introverted functions and extroverted functions. Because obviously if anyone was a full introvert or full extrovert, then like it just wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
there's
just
like
not
a
how people
balance of
are.
it. It's a balance.
Exactly. So with each type you have two introverted functions and two extroverted functions, and like based on your four letter type, it like scrambles around the functions essentially. And then
Okay.
like each person like prioritizes one, and then secondly
Hmm.
prioritizes two, all the way down to four, which they least
So
prioritize.
how many? Okay, because this is my first time like
Yeah.
learning. Okay, how many different functions are there like to choose from in each category?
Altogether, well, let me think. There are two for each. So there are two for thinking, two for intuition.
So there.
So
Okay, so
where
there's like what 32?
no,
Is
one
it?
sec. So if there's yeah, there's eight.
Oh, okay.
There's
So
eight. There's let me count it off just to make sure I'm not being an idiot. But there there's Fi and Fe, Tite, Nine,
oh, so they come in
Sise.
pairs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yes, I was correct. There are eight because there are two
Okay.
for each category. So let me first break down the four letters of your code, and then I'll get into the functions, which
Okay.
are like kind of the underlayer. So first there's introversion versus extroversion, and but separate from what you think, it's not necessarily the same as what like a partier or a type of person that wants to like stay inside and read books.
It's how you
Although those
express
might
your feelings, right? My fault.
yeah, 100%. So it's like extroverts um are putting their like feelings or thoughts, like they're directing them towards the outside world, where introverts are more concerned with like their inner world. You know what I mean?
Right. And I had introversion for that.
Yep. And then there's S versus N. So there's that's sensing versus intuition. And sensing basically means that you're getting you're processing information, like you're living in the moment is more what it is. Like you're getting your kicks from like your five senses. Um you know what I mean? You're living
Yeah.
in the moment. You concentrate on like concrete facts, stuff like that. And then N is for intuition, and that means that you are a little more of a visionary. You're more concerned with like your ideas, um, your visions, your thoughts, stuff like that, your theories.
Right.
Uh,
Like the potential more so.
yeah, yeah, exactly. The potential of what could be, and not necessarily what already is.
Okay. Which that's what I had was N.
Yes. And then there's T versus F. So that's thinking versus feeling. And that basically means when you're making decisions, are you usually going to um, factor in the most heavily um, like information, facts, what makes sense? That's thinking.
Right.
And then, or are you going to factor in how it's going to make others feel, or like morals, stuff like that? And that's feeling.
Okay.
Um,
Yes,
and then
sir.
the last is perceiving versus judging. Um,
Isn't that the
perceiving,
plan? Right.
yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a lot of people hear judging and think, oh, does that mean you're judgmental? No, that's not what it means.
No, common misconception.
Man, please, MythBusters here. So, so perceiving means that you're usually a little more disorganized. You're a little more spontaneous. You improvise. You don't like going in with a plan, stuff like that. And then judging means you like more structure to your life. You're, I mean, you like having a solid plan. You follow like the rules. You like sticking to the rules, stuff like that. That's
Which
J types.
and that's the one letter that puts me off from Midoriya, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Midoriya is INFJ, and as you
Yeah.
can see, he is very a little less spontaneous. He is a little more like
This dude
follow the
follow that
rules.
that dream, that dream plan, the American dream plan shit. That all my
Yeah,
game.
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right, right, right. So those are the four letters, and you are INFP.
And we don't have to
So
worry about the turbulent versus assertive.
not too much.
Okay.
Basically, all that means is turbulent is just that
Self
you
assured.
freak you yeah you doubt yourself more, and then aggressive means that you're
Oh,
you're
aggressive.
more affirmative in your actions. You're confident in what you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Um.
INFP, that's all that matters.
Yes, sir. INFP. So let's start with your functions. So, you lead with FI.
Okay.
So FI is
So FI is the
introverted feeling.
okay. FI is the one that's like my F2, it's my main focus.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Which was
So your main focus is FI. So it's like when you're looking at life, like you guys are usually more moral oriented, right?
right.
You have personal morals and values that you follow. Um, Usually when you're looking at things, it's more based off if it aligns with your morals, your values, stuff like that, and not as much based off like logic, objective data, facts, stuff like that.
Okay. So
Um,
that's introverted feeling.
yes. Um, and then, and your next one, which is the one that you refer to or focus the next most on, is NE. So that's your extroverted intuition. So that is more like you, you're like a brainstormer. You're the type of person that has a lot of ideas that don't necessarily like connect or have some greater purpose to them. You know what I mean? Or like relate towards a goal. It's just like you have a lot of ideas, a lot of visions, stuff like that that some people may perceive as random. That's just your extroverted intuition.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yo, that's so so FI is introverted feeling. That's saying that like
Yes.
um what's it called? I like when I go about in the world, I think about things through morals and how it will like affect the people around me, right?
Kind of. So that's it kind of gets mixed up with the FE a little bit in that. So like because FE is more like concerned
For
with
others.
the people around you and
Okay.
like in morals as of like as a human race. Like you believe all people should do this or should not do this. Like you kind of have like a ideal for humanity in general.
But
And
this
then
would
like
be
you
for ideal for myself.
exactly. Yes.
Okay. So it's like me making sure that like I'm following my moral code.
Right. Yeah, your personal morals.
Okay.
Exactly.
As opposed to having those feelings that everybody should have these.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And
And
then
then FI.
my
Oh,
fault.
go ahead.
I was gonna say and then NER was well, okay, I already forgot. It was extroverted something. Intuition?
Extroverted intuition. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay. And then that's just to say that I brainstorm and come up with a bunch of ideas that seem spontaneous, but it's just the way I think.
Yeah. So in the best way to I guess to compare it would be to NI, which is introverted intuition, which means that you still have that you look at like what could be the possibilities, the visions, but usually it's going to orient back to one goal. So it's like when you know what I mean, if you're brainstorming for a certain topic, then you know what I mean, that's when NI kicks in a little bit more and you think about all these separate possibilities and visions, but they're all correlating back to the reason that you're doing this, if that
So
makes sense.
yeah, would that make NE some overthinkers that come up with like a bunch of random ass solutions or
Oh,
situations that will never come to light?
oh, 100%. And he's overthink. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you guys are thinking about all these possibilities that don't necessarily lead to anything. You're just thinking just to think.
Yo, okay, that one's kind of facts though. Sometimes I really do just be thinking to hear myself think. You got niggas who talk just to hear
Man,
themselves talk. I be thinking just to hear myself think.
man, and that is that NE, bro. That's that NE kicking in. You're just thinking, just to think. So, yes, sir. So has this sounded correct to you so far, Jay?
I would say that. Okay, but then my next question would be, what made you think of FI when we were hanging out and I was protecting the one frog?
Mm,
Because wouldn't that be more
because
extroverted?
so here's the thing is I think that that reminded me of FI because it's like I thought of it a little more like, okay, so let me just tell you guys what we're talking about, because this is just gonna sound so random to
Okay,
everyone
yeah. I
else.
guess we set the context. Set the context.
Yeah. Do you want to say it or you want me to?
Oh, go ahead and lay it on them. Lay it on them. You got it.
Okay. So me and Jordan, Ocarina here, we were longboarding, and he was roller,
You
what's it called?
rollerblading, rollerblading. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you were rollerblading. We were going on a trail essentially. And along the way we stopped because one of your screws fell out of your rollerblade.
Still needs to do maintenance on them. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we stopped and we were looking around for a screw, and upon the way we saw a frog, right? And I look at it
It
and
was
I'm
a little
like,
baby frog too.
it was
It
it
was
was
like
a little baby
it was
frog.
like probably like not even like the size of like a thumb or like a damn I'm trying to think about something that anybody listening would have. Bro, like a phone charger block, like this shit for like
Yeah.
an iPhone. It was
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
about the size of like one of those, if even.
Oh, 100%. It was small. So, anyways, I look at it. I'm like, oh, like, look, bro, like a frog. Like, that's cool. And then I immediately like walk away from it to continue looking for his screw. And Jordan's sitting here, like, like basically just staring at the frog, but like with his like back turned to the rest of the road, and that, or not the road, but the path. And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? And Jordan goes, well, there are people coming in. Like, I don't want them to run over the frog. So basically, he was standing in the way so that they wouldn't run over the frog. And like, to me, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not clouding him for it. It just didn't even cross my mind. You
It's
know what I mean?
because it
You
was
know what
also
I'm
like
saying?
and it was like not the middle of the night, but by then it was like 11 or something.
Yeah.
It's getting dark earlier now, so like by the time it's
Right.
11, it's like pitch black, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
see like this if you're riding your bikes. Because it was a group of people riding bikes. You're not gonna like be looking really for that on the ground, nor seeing a brown frog on black pavement. Not at that
Right.
time of the day.
Yeah. So like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, I respect that. It's just that it didn't even occur to me. Like, I didn't even think about protecting that frog. I was just still focused on trying to get you your screw. So
Which we ended up finding after.
we did. Which what's kind of crazy about it is, as soon as the people passed us, we started walking in a direct line
Bro,
away from the frog, and the screw was perfectly lined up with
yeah,
that frog.
bro. That and I don't know if you noticed, but it took one hop in the direction that
Yeah,
we were about to
bro.
walk, and it was actually like the way it was facing was pointed right at it. Like it was like trying to hop and tell me, "Oh yeah, your shit's over there, my nigga." Like,
Yeah, bro. This man got Annie voice. We were talking to the frog.
yo, it all comes full circle.
It does come full circle. It does come full
Yo,
circle.
oh my
So,
god.
anyways, so when we did that, I go, FI users, man. Like, and he didn't even know what I was talking about. But it comes full circle to this, because like, that, I feel like that was like your personal morals kicking in, that like life should be, you know what I mean, protected, or what's it called? Uh it starts with a P, but it's not protected.
Preserved?
Um Preserved, yeah, I guess cherished, you know what I mean? And like, you were automatically thinking like, oh, I think, you know what I mean, I feel like this frog should be protected from the outside world right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like even though you were taking it out on the external world, you were like thinking about your personal morals about life in general. You get what I mean?
Okay,
And
I
then
feel
like
you.
enacting that on the world from protecting that frog. As to me, I don't have FI as a main function. I don't even think I have it as a function at all. I didn't even begin to think about that frog at all, other than in the sense of, hey, that's cool, man. Like, that was all.
Yeah. Okay, so then did you want to what are your main and secondary function then comparatively?
Okay. So if we're going off of ISTP, so obviously, like I said earlier, I think I'm somewhere in between ISTP and INTP. And the reason of that is because both of them have a main function of introverted thinking. So that means introverted thinking basically means that I go about the world in a way that like makes sense to me based on logic. So I do things that make sense to me based on my personal logic. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, as opposed to TE would mean that you go about the world based on objective logic that's set in stone in general.
So
You
that'd
get
be
what I
like,
mean?
so okay, so one is like the logic that makes sense to you, and
Yeah.
then one would be the logic that makes sense to the world.
Yeah, exactly. Just logic that is just proven as logic in general.
Okay, so I
You
guess
get what
that
I
would be like if you're doing something for like a, I don't know, for like for something like you're doing something for like, I guess lack of a better term, a selfish reason, like doing something for yourself
Yeah,
versus like
essentially.
like that's not even a
Yeah.
diss. That's not like a diss. I'm just
No,
like
I
trying to
get
think of
you.
like an easy, because I don't think like every time that you do something for yourself it's selfish. I think you can just do stuff for yourself to do stuff for yourself. But like I
Right.
think it's easy for other people to view people looking out for themselves as being like selfish.
Right. Which I know when people describe TI users, they do kind of go along with that stereotype a little bit, that we're a little more cold um because it's just logic that makes sense to us. You know what I mean? So we're like, well, based on what I think, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then you just go out based on that. So yeah, we are seen as a little more cold, aloof, or you know what I mean, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Whereas opposed to FI users such as yourself are seen as a little more like warm, sensitive, stuff like that, because you have that personal moral guide to like follow.
Okay.
You
So
know what I mean?
so introverted thinking is your main one.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, and then if we're going based on presuming I'm an ISTP, then my second function, this is where it differs from INTP, is that my second function would be SE, which is extroverted sensing. So that is like, once again, getting your kicks out of like your five senses. So it's like you're a little more usually quote unquote athletic, daredevil, that type of thing.
Right,
Um,
right.
and it's because you want to get the most out of your five functions of hearing, feeling, or not, sorry, not feeling, but hearing, touching, you know what I mean, smell,
Yeah.
taste, whatever they're called. Yeah. So that is SE, as opposed to SI, which would be introverted sensing, means that you live your life and you guide your way through life based on things that you have done, like
That you like already
experience
have
before.
experience with? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then SE is a little more like living in the moment. You just want to feel what you feel in the moment. You know what I mean? Based on the external world.
That boy do be saying, he's like, I just go with the flow sometimes.
Exactly. I do just be going with the flow. Um,
Okay.
yes, sir. And if I was INTP, we'd have the same. If we're assuming I'm INTP, then we'd have the same secondary function, which is extroverted intuition, which is the same thing of you just think just to think. You're entertained with your thoughts. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
random brainstorm stuff like that.
Right, right. So our differences would be at the start, which is FI versus what was it, TI?
TI. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah. And then we would either share, and was it NE,
Yes, sir.
or you have,
SE.
okay, SE.
Yes, sir. And once again, I want to clarify to everyone that these are not absolutes. You can't, I'm not saying that you can't be imaginative or that you can't use NE if it's not in your functions. It's just not what you're focusing on, usually.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I think it makes sense because I think that we all have like some sort of
Preference.
yeah, like almost like a thing where we naturally guide towards this.
Exactly.
So I think in that, in
Exactly.
terms of that, it makes sense. But I don't think it's to say that like, you'll only or always do that, because there's so many different situations,
Right.
like so many different sorts of people in the world, like to be able to say that, oh, there, you can classify one 16th of the world as this, and out of all of those people, those many of them will think like this. Like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that
The
that's
preference.
like, bro, and I
Right. Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's just
And
unpredictable like that.
exactly. And that's not what Myers Briggs is trying to accomplish. It's not trying to say you'll always do this or you'll always do that. It's just saying that usually you're going to lean towards doing this
You're
in
inclined for
general.
this kind of behavior
Right.
type.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I think it's better than Zodiacs, because Zodiacs are just saying you are this way. That, like, this is how you act. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little more what Zodiacs are doing. And I also don't like it because it's not based on facts. Like, there's no
It's not
logic
based on
to
the
it. It's just,
stars.
yeah, it's just based on like universal stuff. Like tell me I'm gonna act a certain way because of the day I was born. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
bro.
just
I
doesn't
just
make
robbed the
sense to
store.
me.
Haha, I'm such a Capricorn.
Man, girl, like, okay. Oh, I almost said girls. Okay, wait. I'm like, I only said that because a lot of the people I know that are really into zodiacs are girls. But you know what I mean? I guess anyone, obviously, anyone can be into zodiacs. But the people that I know that are into zodiacs, they always do that. Like, they'll do something, and they just be like, "Oh, I just do that because I'm a Virgo." I'm like, "What? You did this because of the day you were born?"
Hell no, that's scapegoating as fuck.
Right, like tell me that.
Bro, imagine
Like,
imagine
and
you
they'll
in
like,
court and they asking you to testify and you be like, "Oh yeah, man, I see. I didn't really want to shoot him, but I'm a Scorpio, you see." And like, and the judge is like, "Oh,
man.
say no more. Why is this man in
Oh yeah,
here? Get him out."
you didn't tell me you was a Scorpio. I thought this man was a Capricorn.
Yeah,
Get him out of here
facts.
right now.
Facts. What are we
You
supposed to
got to
hold
play
this
with a
man for?
Scorpio
The
like
star,
that,
the stars are aligned in his favor.
man. Right? Who are we to fight against the universe?
You
Tell me the government
fact.
saying that.
Yo. No, because I like zodiacs just for because I think they have cooler representation than a Myers Briggs. Like I think being like
Right.
represented by a damn scorpion is so much cooler than saying, "Oh yeah, I'm INFP."
Right.
But I'm not
I
gonna
agree.
like. At the end of the day, I'm gonna side and align more with belief in my INFP than with my zodiac. Like,
Exactly.
like
Because here's the thing, I'm not saying zodiacs are not interesting. Like they're fun to look at for sure.
Oh,
You
facts,
know
bro.
what
I
I
spent
mean?
like all of junior year, I think almost daily reading my horoscope for the day. And like
Really?
even
That
I was yeah, I would share it with like I would tell other people, I'd be like, "Yo, let me get your zodiac so I can tell you your horoscope." Cuz I just thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I think that
yeah.
like I also think that there's a sort of sense where so I think it's also a little dangerous because if you read a bad horoscope, I think that it can also affect your mind. Like you will
Right.
mentally go into it. If you put too much faith in it, you will mentally go into a day like
Exactly.
manifesting that, like, like a
Right.
self-fulfilling prophecy where if you so
Exactly.
much think that that's true, you'll subconsciously make the actions that lead to it being true. Like I think that
Exactly.
self-fulfilling prophecies are true as shit. And
Oh
so
yes.
that is where I would give like horoscopes and zodiac that kind of credit is if you believe so heavily in them that you'll start to like align your actions with what you believe, which is also
Exactly.
like its own sense of like cognitive dissonance, which is like where you do something, like you act a certain way that doesn't align with your beliefs. So instead of fixing your actions to align with your beliefs, you fix your beliefs to align with your actions. But it'd be kind of like
Right.
the reverse of that with like a self fulfilling prophecy, where your actions subconsciously align with your beliefs.
Right. And I agree with that. And I think zodiacs are fun. You know what I mean? I read my horoscopes too sometimes. Not gonna lie to you, Gemini gang over here. Um, I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. I read up on them. I know a little bit about what each type is like. I think they're cool. I think they're fun. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're anything to be taken too seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to like a zodiac to write like a character unless that character is specifically into zodiac.
Right. If it aligns with their character. Right. Right. Right.
But I would still prefer. I would even then I would probably use Myers Briggs to like actually define the character.
Exactly.
Before that is like obsessed with zodiac.
Exactly, because the thing about Myers-Briggs is that this is psychology. Like, this isn't like theory, you know what I mean? It's like it is based off facts. Like psychologists came up with this.
I think
You know what
horoscopes
I
take,
mean?
yeah, I think horoscopes take too much of like a generic. This can apply
Oh
for
yeah.
anybody,
Oh yeah.
um, and then put that out there. So then, of course, the people who read are like, "Oh my gosh, this is so me,"
Right. No, yeah, yeah,
because
I agree. And I know a lot of people now that take zodiacs like too seriously, and they'll say like, "Oh, I don't like what like Aquariuses anymore because this one did me wrong and they were all blah 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 and like they acted like an Aquarius, so I just don't like Aquariuses anymore." I'm like, "What? You're gonna judge them based
the day
on
they're
the
born.
month?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
like because there's like within any of the zodiac things. Waffle, I'm yawning. There is a
you good.
1 in 12th chance that what they said
Right.
on your zodiac aligns with you because there's only 12. There's only 12 zodiacs, which I'm
Right.
not like there's only 16 Myers Briggs, but there's only 12 zodiacs. So if they say something generic enough, but still different from one of the 12, there is
Right.
a 1 in 12th chance that what they said actually applies to you.
Exactly. And in the same way that you said that it might apply to you, how I said some people like will cut off people that are a certain sign. You're cutting off 1/12 of the population, dude. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of people that you're just assuming are gonna be a certain way.
Yeah, it all act the way that that sign acts.
Right? Yeah.
Like
And I just
you have one Leo do you wrong, and then you're like, it's like it's mad stereotyping at that point. It's like, oh, all Leos are gonna be the same,
exactly,
which just
exactly.
that just ain't true.
It just ain't like
So
it will never work.
yeah, I don't think you could really ever cut somebody off like even with Myers Briggs. I don't think you could be like, oh, this person's like ENFJ. I'm never gonna talk to
Right?
them again, and I'll never talk to
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
ENFJ again. Because at the end of the
Right.
day, that's also not something that just is like worn openly on a sleeve. So it's not like you can just look at somebody and be like, oh, yeah, they're this type. Why would I even bother trying to talk to them? Because it's not something that really like shows. It's
Exactly.
yeah,
Like it does a little bit, but like you said, it's not something to take super seriously that all people in this type are gonna be this certain way and piss you off about X, Y, and Z. Because there are 16 types and there's millions of people on this planet.
yeah, exactly. And there's like depending on scenarios, depends on how people act. So
Exactly.
I think like unless that's even why you would have like your own thing where you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'm really the type that they said, or if I should be more, if I would fit more in this type, because like there's
Exactly.
no way to like wholly pin that this person would
Yeah.
be this sort of way.
Right, exactly. So it's like that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why you can bleed into multiple categories and it's just more of like your preference. Who do you think that you align with the most, not the only.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
anyways,
my fault. Go ahead.
you good. So anyways, yeah, that's your Myers-Briggs 101, everybody.
Say welcome to your
Uh
crash course.
yes, sir.
You remember
Like
them crash courses for history? Whenever
oh,
you
the
need a
crash course.
crash
Yeah,
course, and
yes, sir.
yes, bro.
Every history teacher put that on at some point or another, bro.
Bro, it was that, and it was the one
CNN
how,
student news.
that too. But I was gonna say the one how a bill became a law. Yo,
Oh, bro, I need to listen to that. That
you
was
do
a
not.
bop, bro.
No, you do not need to listen to that. There was
Bro, don't
no
act like that wasn't a good
requirement.
song, bro.
Or what was it? The We the People one. Where it was like,
I don't know that.
oh my, yo, I'm gonna link it to you. I'm gonna find it and link it to you.
I got you.
But yo, low key, them history memories be flooding back. Shout out to my racist 7th grade social studies teacher.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. I think we had different uh teachers, didn't we actually?
Yeah, I think I was A team and you were B team.
Oh yeah, I was a B team, yeah.
I was class A. Whoa.
Class 1B.
Whoa.
What, so we were just ignored? Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Fuck 12-year-old
Yo.
me.
Yo, I was class
I was a
A.
side character.
Look at me stepping out into the limelight. Yes, sir.
Man, with your Annie voice,
It was,
talking to frogs.
yo, it was aligned. It was ordained by the stars when I was born on October 28th and made a Scorpio that I was
No,
set
you
to
know,
be the main character.
you had to be. You know,
Yo,
and when I was deemed a Gemini, it was already deemed that I'd be a side character. I
you're the
had to be in
supporting
1B.
cast to my story.
Oh yes, I had to be in 1B.
Nah, that shit crack though. Yo, that is kind of that's kind of crack though that they back in middle school they really put us into an A team and a B team.
It was
Like
just the sort of what's it called? Our teachers essentially.
I get.
Never really fucked with being on the B team though.
I
Not
was
gonna
gonna
hold
say,
you.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure everybody who was on B team hated being on B team. Like I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
actually got dogs.
yeah. Because here's the thing. I know it didn't actually decide anything other than your teachers, but I just didn't like that title.
And then I think they tried to change it to like Trailblazers and
They
something else.
did.
It was like they had the
They did.
Trailblazers, which was the A team, and then
Yeah, bro.
something else. I just don't remember what the other team was called.
It's because they knew kids weren't liking the fact that they were being placed on a B
B
team.
team, I know, cause low key, nah, I felt like A team had better teachers too. I'm not even gonna hold you, bruh.
Really? I
Like
can't remember if I was ever on A team
actually,
actually.
actually nah, cause the social studies teacher for B team was fire. I remember that. I like
Which grade?
eighth grade, I think.
What was your set of teachers in 8th grade? Did you have Miss Jackson?
Yeah, I don't remember.
She was
Yo,
she was the older lady. No.
bro, I do not remember. I'm not
So
even.
I'm trying to remember. I know
I
I was on B team 6th and 7th grade. I'm trying to think if I was ever on A team or if it was just fuck me my whole middle school career.
they was trying to set you up for failure going into high school.
They were. I
I'll,
swear they were.
I'll go look to find some of my papers at some point, and I'll let you know who my teachers were.
All right, you do that, man.
Okay. Well, shit. So we're like an hour into this now. I think,
Word.
I think. With that being said, we're gonna wrap things up here. So
Yes, sir.
thank you so much to my boy Justin for coming on for the first episode of Cherry Waves podcast.
You
You
know.
know the vibes. Uh, I
Yes, sir.
do, I do plan to potentially have this boy back because we did talk about another topic that we just didn't end up getting into today. That's more anime related. This one ended up being a lot more about Myers Briggs than I was anticipating, but it's fine. I messed with it. But we do have
You're just
another one.
talking.
So, if you see him back in the future, then, look forward to that. If you don't, then enjoy the now.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the use your SE. Say that.
Use
Bring it
your
full
SE.
circle like a chicken.
Yeah. Yo, it came full circle.
It did come full circle, didn't it?
Okay, you want to let everybody know where they can find you though, if they want more?
Oh yes, sir. So I have a Twitter page. It's called Anxmeverse. Except the I in anime is instead an X. Follow me there. I'd be pretty active. You know what I mean? I think that there is a lot of funny shit on anime Twitter. So if you're not on there but you're into anime, definitely hop on that. Follow me. We'll interact. We'll laugh at shit together. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll make sure that links to his Twitter is in the description. So all you have to do is scroll down there, click a link, you go drop him a follow, send him some love, let him know I sent you. Matter of fact, let him know
You
I
know,
sent you, and
DMs are
then
open.
yeah, and then if you're watching this, or if you're listening to this, I gotta figure out still how podcast sites work. But if you're listening to this on a podcast, then like he said, Anxmeverse, Anxmeverse, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You got it.
Anxmeverse with an X instead of an I. But with that being said,
Yep.
that is going to wrap up episode 1 of the Cherry Waves podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you, Justin,
Yeah,
again
no.
for coming on.
Yes,
Stay
sir. It
smooth.
was an honor.
Yes, sir. Stay smooth, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you, in the next podcast. Appreciate y'all. Take care.
Peace.
Yo, okay, rookie mistake, yo. Rookie mistake. I'm recording this after the fact. If you ain't already following me on Twitter, you can hit me up at Ocarina_Kid. OCARINA_KID. Same deal as I did with Justin. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. However, for all of you that are just listening, there's my Twitter handle. Once again, appreciate y'all for listening. Stay smooth. Love y'all. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.